You know that sound, that long, unmistakable wail that just cuts through everything. It's a sound that's meant to grab your attention, to signal that something serious is happening. But let's be real, what does it actually mean when you hear one? Well, that's what we're going to break down.
At the end of the day, an outdoor warning siren is a life-saving tool. That's it. Its whole job, its one and only purpose, is to get the attention of people who are outside and tell them, hey, you are in immediate danger. You need to act now.
But come on, be honest. You've heard that siren, looked out the window at a perfectly sunny day, and just thought, huh? What's this all about? If you felt that way, you're not alone. Not by a long shot. And that confusion, it's a huge problem.
And that confusion leads to something experts call the cry wolf effect. You know the story. When sirens go off and it seems like there's no good reason, we just start to ignore them. And that kind of distrust can be really, really dangerous.
And this isn't just some theory. This happens all the time. Just look at what this person wrote on Reddit. They heard the sirens, but their specific area wasn't even under a warning. That experience is super common, and it's totally valid to be concerned about it.
There's actually an official term for this, siren fatigue. It's a real psychological thing. If we hear alarms over and over again, especially when they feel like false alarms, our brains literally learn to tune them out. We just become numb to the very sound that's supposed to save our lives.
So what do we do about this? How do we fix it? Well, it really all starts with just clearing up some of the biggest myths about what that wailing sound is actually trying to tell us.
Okay, if you only remember one thing from this whole explainer, please make it this. Sirens are for people who are outdoors. That's it. They're not made to be heard inside your house or your office. If you happen to hear one inside, it's pretty much just luck. It means you're close to one.
All right, so you're outside, you hear it. What do? It's actually pretty simple. Officials in Burleson, Texas teach it as shelter, shut, and seek. First, shelter. Get inside a strong building right away. Second, shut all the doors and windows. And third, and this is key, seek more information. Turn on the TV, the radio, look at your phone. Think of the siren as the headline. It's telling you to go find the rest of the story.
And now we've got to bust what is probably the most dangerous myth out there. There is no all-clear siren. Let me say that again. If the siren stops, it does not mean the danger is over. That whole idea of an all-clear signal was basically dropped after World War II. With today's threats, the safest thing is to stay put until you get the official word that it's safe.
Okay, so that leads to another big question, right? Why does the siren go off in your town, but your friend one town over hears nothing? The answer is, well, it's a little complicated, and it has everything to do with who's actually flipping the switch.
And here's the thing that might surprise you. Activating a siren is an entirely local decision. There's no big national or even statewide button. Every single city, every county sets its own rules. And a lot of the time, it's a real person, a human being, who has to make that split-second call. This creates this messy patchwork of different rules all over the country.
And here's where we get a major disconnect. Modern weather warnings are incredible. They're super precise. The National Weather Service can draw these tiny little shapes called polygons on a map to show exactly where the danger is. But a lot of our siren systems are old. They're wired to just turn on for an entire city or even a whole county all at once. That's a huge reason why you might hear a siren even if you're miles away from the actual threat.
And just look at how different the rules can be. Down in Burleson, Texas, they'll sound the sirens for 70-mile-per-hour winds, but in Minnesota, the statewide recommendation is 80 miles per hour. Burleson activates for hail the size of a ping-pong ball, while Minnesota recommends waiting until it's nearly baseball-sized. See, these little differences in local policy are exactly why things can feel so inconsistent.
So we know the problems, but the good news is experts are all over this. They have a really clear plan for how to make the whole system better and, rebuild that trust we've been talking about.
The Association of Minnesota Emergency Managers, or AM, they basically laid out a roadmap. First, get everyone on the same page with consistent standards. Second, and this is huge, only use sirens for immediate, life-threatening stuff. Third, upgrade the tech so sirens can be targeted to those precise warning polygons. And finally, have predictable tests and stop using the sirens for things like volunteer fire calls. Simple, right?
Part of getting on the same page is just knowing the sounds. There are really only two official ones. That steady wail, the one you probably know, that's the alert tone. It's for things like tornadoes. Then there's this wavering up and down sound. That's the attack signal, and you should only ever hear that for a national defense emergency.
And here's a little pro tip for you. You can usually tell a drill from a real emergency. The drills are almost always at a set time, like the first Wednesday of the month at 1 p.m. And they're short, maybe 1 to 3 minutes. A real warning, though, that's going to happen during an actual threat, and it should go on for at least 4 minutes, sometimes even longer.
Okay, now we're at the most important part of all of this. Sirens are great, they're a powerful tool, but they should never, ever be the only way you get a warning. It is up to every single one of us to build our own personal alert system.
Because here's the fundamental truth of emergency preparedness today: no single tool works for everyone in every situation. Think about it. If the power goes out or the cell towers go down, you need to have backups ready to go. So what's in this personal toolkit? Well, a NOAA weather radio is the gold standard. It's literally designed to wake you up in the middle of the night. Those wireless emergency alerts that pop up on your phone are absolutely critical. Plus, you should absolutely sign up for your local city or county alerts and have a couple of trusted weather apps on your phone.
Systems like this BTX alert in Burleson, they're a perfect example. They're modern tools that send information straight to you. They completely bypass all the confusion of the sirens and give you clear instructions right when you need them the most.
So, I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. It's 3 in the morning. A dangerous storm is heading right for your neighborhood. The sirens aren't going off, or maybe you just can't hear them because you're inside fast asleep. How are you going to get that warning?
Because having a good answer to that question, well, that's what really keeps you safe. So build that personal alert system. Thanks for tuning in. Stay curious.